that I'm late. I'm going to take my glasses off. My camera's a little fucked up. I just need to tell you guys about what's happening. I'm still kind of getting myself set up here. Normally I like sit down, set up my life, all that stuff. I'm like, there's no way I can do this without my glasses on. Okay, that's canceled. Normally I like get myself all set up, all that stuff, but I was so behind today. Like normally I make the slides on Monday, and on Sunday I was thinking, oh shit. I was like, you have so much going on with work. You definitely need to make slides on Sunday, but then I forgot to. So I was just making our slides. So I literally just finished. So like, I did eat though. I ate when I got home because I knew this would happen. Did we actually think the queen is alive, or is she deaf dead? I think she's dead. Personally, I might turn my ring light off because it's like glaring into my glasses. I think she's dead. Personally, wait, I don't like that. Is that more better? Yeah, I think she's dead. Like, I just don't think it's a debate at this point. My boyfriend was talking about this. He was like, look, she's on TV. And I was like, I do not know who that woman is, but that's not the Queen of England. I assure you it's not. Ugh, I wish I had put my contacts in. Damn it. I wish I had contacts in right now. All these little purses I have just like around. Her cousin is deaf dead with a chunk of ear missing. Gross. Hey, you guys. Okay, but let me tell you what I was saying. Hi, guys. So I didn't have time to work on this like at all today, and then I had to stay at work late too because basically I'm in charge of this event on Wednesday, and there's just so much fucking shit to do. So that actually brings me to my next point. Thank you, Aaron Martin, for resubscribing. Glad you're enjoying this. It's been more than 15 minutes. We can legally leave, y'all. I'm here. I am here. Guy with the taco, I'm here. Sit the fuck down because I'm here. But anyway, I'm not going to stream on Wednesday. I'm going to stream on Thursday because Wednesday I have a huge event for work. So like I'm going to be there all day working my ass off. So there's no way I can make slides in time for Wednesday. And also I don't think I would get home in time because like there's a happy hour. There's all this stuff. I will be cutting it very close. So I decided, I was like, do you want to do a shitty job streaming Wednesday or do a really good job streaming Thursday? Because Thursday I'm working from home, so I'll have time in the afternoon to like work on stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to like tell you guys what's up. We're going to be doing Stonewall on Thursday instead of Wednesday for Pride. I'm sat. The monkey emoji. That's funny. I've been waiting for streams so I can use it as body doubling while I pack for a work trip. That's perfect. You guys, look how I have no nails right now. Did you ever think you would see the day? Me with no nails? I guess I can. I was about to say I need something to open my drink, but I can just open my drink. That's so easy. Y'all just live like this? I really feel like I look odd right now. Like I feel like the camera's at a weird angle on me. I need to like rearrange this a little bit. Okay, so I have to let the whole squad know. Everyone shut the fuck up. Quarter Life Crisis has news to tell us. Thank you. Silence for Quarter Life Crisis. How do you subscribe with Prime? I'm trying, but I can't figure it out. Ooh. So, can someone in the chat like assist? Come in with the assist with that one. Because I don't really think I know. Now that we are talking about it, I definitely don't. Okay. That's better. That's more of a vibe. I feel better. Okay. Miss Redacted got rid of her nails for Prime. No, Miss Redacted got rid of her nails because of that. One ripped and it's bad, and then this guy has a crack in it. I don't know if you can see it. I saw your tweet about the nails and almost call it a wellness check. Thought you got hacked. Yeah, it's brutal out here. So if y'all remember, I went on a date during stream one night and missed class. Heartbreak. Well, I never talked to him again, but you know what this man posted on his Instagram story? Quarter Life Crisis. Please tell us, what did he post on his Instagram story? He posted a Reagan photo and quote on his Instagram story. You did dodge a bullet. You did dodge a bullet with that one. We're talking about Ronald Reagan today. You guys, 1 year ago, yesterday, Ronald Reagan died. He died. I actually don't know how he died. I'm very unprepared for this stream. Never trust male history teachers. Always. Red alert, always. Red alert, always. Not 1 year ago. Sorry, 1 day ago. 1 day ago. He died in 2004. 1 day ago, many years ago. I told you I was unprepared. Never trust males better. Wasn't it like 18 years ago? Yeah, I'm very stupid and also a little... How did Ronald Reagan die? I told you I was unprepared for this. Just know, I made this slide deck. This is going to impress the fuck out of you guys right now. This slide deck has 68 slides in it. You want to know how long I spent on it? 1 hour and 4 minutes. You're going to be so impressed when you see it. So please forgive me if anything has a typo, if anything is in a weird order. It was a lot. Yeah, quarter life crisis, you are way too good for a Reagan stan. How did Reagan die? Oh, it was Alzheimer's disease. How was 2004 18 years ago? Hey, besties. Hey, Average Tay. Is chat broken? It is. Thank you. Thank you, Gouda lover. I also like Gouda. There's so much hair on my floor. Like, hair from my head. You know what I mean? Yee. I'm going to DC this week, so maybe I'll meet a cute, important man. Ooh. On to treadmill. On to treadmill. I love the treadmill. I love a treadmill. I love just an incline walk on the treadmill. I'm not a runner. My boobs are too big to run. I can't do it. Like, I'm just not built for running. It's not something I'm interested in. It's not something I want to be a part of. I just don't want to be a part of it. But I love a walk. A walk on a treadmill? Oh my god. I'm a big walking girl. I love a walk. Thank you, Gouda lover, for letting me know the chat is broken. She appears to be fixed now. Let's go ahead and get into it. We have a fair number of slides today. I'm actually excited for today's stream. It's like a fucking buffet of different things that we're talking about. I honestly should have made an agenda. I should have been full teacher on you and made an agenda. Where'd my pen go? I should have gone full teacher on you and made an agenda. However, hot girl walking, even though I'm a he-they. He-theys can go on a hot girl walk. I'm playing Sims while learning. Win-win for me. So, today is the anniversary of Ronald Reagan's death. He died yesterday, 18 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, yesterday was the anniversary, not today. I'm sorry. I'm, like, a little fucked up already. But anyway, we're going to talk about some of the reasons that we hate Ronald Reagan. Are we going to talk about all the reasons? No, we don't have time for that. But we're going to talk about a lot of them. We're going to talk about a lot of the terrible things that Ronald Reagan did as president and just as a person and why we hate him. So that's the first part. And then we're going to look at that letter. I made a TikTok about it, about the letter from my principal. We're going to look at that. Don't worry, we're going to look at that. And then I feel like I missed something. And then we're doing education horror stories. And then some people sent me like some work tea, some life drama, like gossip. So we have like so much to do and all of it's good, but none of it's super long. I sent you an Instagram DM. Did you see it? Maybe. Let me look. Give me a second. What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? Roast. Yeah, we are going to roast Ronald Reagan. I also sent a DM. Why are they not coming through? Also, like so a really weird Randale tried to, actually, I'm not going to explain that right now because it's dumb. I'm not seeing these Instagram. What's your Instagram DMs? Jackson on non-binary being, loving the background. Glad you love it. Mine was about the Appalachian Cold Wars. When did you send it? I can't find it. This is so weird. I'm looking in my request and it's like not in here. Hold on. I want to get this resolved. When did you send it? Like 2-ish weeks ago? Oh, okay. Sorry, I probably wasn't scrolling back far enough. Ooh, I see it. I'm going to like the message so that I see it again and remember it. Thank you. Appalachian Cold Wars, Through Maya's Eyes. Through Maya's Eyes, when did you send that message? I thought I saw Maya. Where'd it go? Oh, did you just hear the noise my body made from the alcohol I chugged? Chat is And broken again. We love that for us. Through my eyes, if you get a chance, let me know when you sent that message. Let me fix the chat and let's get into it. Sorry, my screen is like so baby right now. Ugh. This week is gonna like fly by, but it's like already so stressful. Like today work went by so fast just because I was like actually working the whole time. It was awful. Okay. I like the name of this stream. I'm late, but hey friends, you're late, but we're still on the title slide, so don't worry. All right, so happy Ronald Reagan is dead day. I'm a day late, but if you don't know, happy International Gender Neutral Bathroom Day. Oh my gosh, I wish that was the anniversary of his death. That would be great. If like his death anniversary was that day, if he died that day, you know what I mean? Last week, Thursday. This is a test to make sure the chat is working. Disregard. Thank you. Ooh, last week, Thursday. Let me look. Ooh, I see. Thank you. So I liked it again, so I can go back and look at it later so that I can like actually like read it and focus on it. Because there's just like a lot happening right now. But yes, thank you. I skimmed it and it sounds like something I'm interested in. I will DM you. Probably like later tonight or tomorrow or maybe later this week once I get my life together. But thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Sometimes they go on my request and I don't see them. All right. Every time my neighbor pulls into her driveway, she's blasting the new Harry Styles album. It's mostly sushi restaurant. So I'm not a Harry Styles fan, but I'm not a Harry Styles hater. Like, I get it. I haven't listened to a ton of his music, but actually today my Peloton, she was talking about that song, but she was really annoying me. She had a very thick British accent. For some reason, when people have like really thick accents, it's like hard for me to pay attention. And so I was just like getting really confused in the class. I saw someone say, imagine being in a gay bar during Pride when Reagan died, and honestly, it sounds like heaven. So did you know? I also saw that tweet. I saw that tweet this morning on my way to work. Sorry, I was stuck in traffic going 1 mile an hour, and I opened Twitter. I'm a bad person and a bad driver, and I know, and I'm addicted, and I'm sorry, and I'm trying. Not really, but I am trying to try, you know? But anyway, I saw that tweet and I was like, oh my God, it's the anniversary of Ronald Reagan's death? I have to stream about Ronald Reagan and all the terrible things that he's done. So that was the inspo for this. And then I was in a meeting and I was like, did you guys know that today is the anniversary of Ronald Reagan's death? And then one of my coworkers Googled it and she was like, oh, it was yesterday. And I was like, oh, thank you. Because I'm streaming about that tonight and that would have made me look very stupid if I had not known it was the day, but I guess I'm telling you now. So that kind of has the same effect. Betty Crocker Homemaker, you are late, but I forgive you. Was anyone in a gay bar yesterday? Did they celebrate? Was anyone in a gay bar yesterday? Was anyone in a gay bar? It's like that audio that's going on TikTok right now from Kathy Griffith's show where she's like, I need to talk to a gay person. I need to talk to a gay person immediately. Okay. So Ronald Wilson Reagan, was an American politician. He was president for the 80s. That's Kathy Griffith, yeah. Or Kathy Griffith? I can't remember. The redhead lady. Yeah, that is her. That's from her show, My Life on the D-List. That was my favorite show growing up, or one of many of my favorite shows. I loved Bravo as a kid. Give me some Bravo. I was watching that. When I was a kid, I used to watch Flipping Out, which now I work in real estate, and that's all everyone does, is we all scream at each other all the time about everything. And it's a really good work environment, but it's just, like, very intense. But no one screams in a mean way, in, like, a stress way, but not in a I hate you way. You know what I mean? But yeah, Flipping Out was a favorite of mine. All the things. Very much love. Where's my little blanket that I was sitting on before? I moved it, because I didn't want to trip earlier when I was like not streaming. I don't know if you can see my ass right now, but I hope not. If you can, you're welcome. If you can, you're welcome. Okay. I work in Florida's gay city, so everywhere I go is a gay bar. So anywhere I go, there's a gay bar? Oh, I thought you said anywhere I go is a gay bar. And I was like, wait, I don't think you're that far from me. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to sit on like the itchy carpet, so I'm sitting on like a fuzzy. Alright. This is giving we all love working here. Fuck off, Janet. I'm not going to your fucking baby shower. That's very much what it's like. Like, and then you probably would go to the baby shower. Wait, was this the president that you saw as a child that you had a white cardigan and you had to pat down? Was that him? No, that was Jimmy Carter. We don't stand Jimmy Carter, but like out of all the presidents, he's like one of the better ones. That's Jimmy Carter. He was president before Reagan. Very, very close though. We're actually going to talk about Jimmy Carter. Not a ton, but a little bit. Okay. So, Reagan, he actually, before he was president, was the governor of California. And then before that, he was a career Hollywood actor. Like, he literally was an actor. Like, that was his job, was being an actor. And then he was like, I think I want to be the governor. And people were like, yeah, we're fucking into that. And then he was like, I actually want to be the president. And somehow people were still into it. Major Trump vibes with that one. Very much reality TV star. I want this hat back. Very much reality TV star to president pipeline going on here. He looked like James Franco back then when he was an actor. Yeah, like he couldn't just continue to be an actor and be like moderately problematic in his personal life. Like he had to be the president and ruin it for all of us. When I taught Reagan to my students, they were like, wait, like Trump? No, literally. I swear if someone saw that Reagan was a nude model, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, he was an actor. An actor. In films and shows. He was an actor. What was his degree in? What's his, like, educational background? I should look that up. I need to make an appointment with my lash girl. Reagan college degrees. Did he go to college? I think you have to, right? I guess not. Why do we keep electing people who know what they're doing in politics? Why do we not learn? So was the current president of Ukraine. I really don't know anything about Ukrainian politics. Like, don't cancel me for not knowing anything about Ukrainian politics. But I'm just wondering why we keep voting for actors for president. Like, I guess it's because they're good speakers. I guess that's, like, the common skill is, like, speaking and communication and presenting yourself. Ronald Reagan went to Eureka College. What did you major in, bitch? No, I don't want to look up Eureka College. What did Ronald Reagan major in? God. Because Americans have a distrust for the government, so they view actors as outsiders. What did they have college majors in the 30s, or was it just like you go to college? Like, I think it was just like, oh, you're at college now. Not me having the same major as him. Stop. Oh my god, and the chat is broken again. She is acting up today. I'm kind of in the mood for it, though. Like, I've had a lot happening today, so I feel like I can handle it. And I just got my period, so, like, I'm kind of on top of the world when it comes to badassery. Not in, like, a cringy millennial way. Just in, like, I can handle anything now. Like, I have nothing to lose, you know what I mean? But, stop. There's no way Reagan studied sociology. This is, in 1928, he attended Eureka College. He was an indifferent student, majored in economics and sociology, and graduated with a C average. You guys, I have the same college major as Ronald Reagan. That's so embarrassing. Like, out of everything I picked? God. Look at this pimple. You gotta get a different degree now. I know. I was so against going back to school. I was so against it, but now I kind of think I have to. Proof that you are smarter than him. I minored in business. I have that going for me. Maybe that's why I'm better at the economy than him. Is because I minored in business. You know what I mean? Okay. So, now that we know that Miss Redacted and Ronald Reagan apparently had fucking identical college experiences. But also, okay, follow-up question. Wait, we might have broken through something here. So I know now we view sociology as like the woke, whatever. I hate the word woke. I hate that whole concept. Burn it all down, whatever. But that's how people view sociology. what was sociology like in the 1920s? Because my sociology degree was very, like, historical and data focused, not very, like, academia focused. So, like, what was sociology like in the 1920s? If I had to guess, it was probably, like, anthropology and super problematic, and they were like, this is why the lesser races are less deserving. Obviously, that's not my opinion. I'm talking about what racist sociologists in the 1920s were doing, or so I'm inferencing. But I'm wondering if maybe he was a sociology major doing, like, problematic sociology. Because I don't see him doing... Was it We Hate Gay People Eugenics? Yeah, I think, like, that might have been the sociology of the 1920s. I don't really know. This is something I'm not very educated on. That being, like, I have a degree in sociology, but it's from Florida State, so I don't really know. But, yeah, I think that makes more sense. I'm feeling a little better about this. They had Marxist theory, though, but America already had a Red Scare, so it probs didn't teach it. I'm going to research this. Yeah, quarter-life crisis. Get back to me. Let me know what's going on here. You're not wrong. Me crying in class. That's in high school, actually. That picture was taken in 10th grade. Okay, so Reagan was a Republican. He was the oldest person to assume the presidency. That's our first red flag. Oldest person to assume the presidency at the time. Not anymore. I think Joe Biden's the oldest now. I just found out I'm teaching sociology next year. Ooh, that's exciting. Old sociology was hunting down gay men after stalking them at gas stations. Yeah, I think that was Reagan's sociology. The only thing that's not good, there's a lot of things not good about having nails, but I cannot stop scratching my head, and I swear to God, my goal is to go until Friday with no nails, and then this weekend I can put on new ones. My nails are, like, cracked and fucked up, and I'm worried, I just keep scratching my head, and I'm gonna have no skin on my head by Friday. Okay, so this is who Ronald Reagan was. He won the election of 1984 by a fucking lot. It was a landslide. This is one of the most lopsided presidential elections in U.S. history, actually. Joe Biden is old as balls. Joe Biden is old as fuck. Like, when I look at that man. So, I was watching stand-up the other night. I can't remember who it was. It was a stand-up comedian. Can you guys still hear me? Like, if I'm leaning on this pillow, can you still hear me? I can move the mic. Let me know if you can still hear me. Oh my God, the chat is broken again. Loud and clear? Okay, that's good to know. Let me fix the chat. What was I saying? Good. I love my brain. This is good. Oh, I remember. So I was watching stand-up, and it was like one of those comedians that a lot of people hate because they're problematic. I don't remember who it was. Not one of the really, really bad ones. Like, not a white supremacist one. But you know what I'm saying. But anyway, they were talking about how we need to be less hard on Joe Biden. And they were like, could your great-grandpa handle 15 press conferences? And they were like, I'm in my 30s and I couldn't handle 15 press conferences. Like, no wonder he's fucking up all the time. He's 100 million years old. Like, is Grandpa ready to go on Meet the Press? Like, is your grandpa ready to go on Meet the Press? Because, I'm not even that mad at Joe Biden as an individual because, like, you're way too fucking old for me to be mad at you. Because, like, I shouldn't have expected anything from you. Like, that's on me. Like, I feel like me being mad at Joe Biden is like getting mad at a toddler when they spill something that you gave them in an open container. Like, you're not mad at them, you're mad at you. You know? Like, I feel like that's why I can't yell at Joe Biden. Yet I still do. You can tell it's further, we can hear you. Okay, good. I truly feel like we're watching him deteriorate in front of us. Like, so my mom, I hope she's cool with me saying this. My mom is, like, obsessed with Kamala Harris. My mom is such a Kamala Harris stan. Like, she really, really fucking loves her. And my mom had this fantasy that she was trying to manifest, and she would, like, light manifestation candles and, like, write this down next to it because this is what she wanted really bad. It was like after Joe Biden got elected, she wanted Joe Biden. So it was like before January 6th, all that stuff. She wanted Joe Biden, because he was elected, to have his inauguration, have the ball at the White House, do everything, go back, fuck his wife, and she goes, and then I want Joe Biden to have a heart attack and die. Like, I want him to die on a high note. That was what my mom was really trying to manifest for January of 2021. And then we had an insurrection, so I don't think it worked. But that was like her. My mom unironically called Kamala Harris a girl boss. Yeah, our moms would get along. Like, oh, God. My grandma screamed at the TV when Trump was inaugurated, "We need her in office." That new Bo Burnham song, "Are you really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden?" Literally. He did do a sick diss on Elon Musk the other day. I will grant him that. Like, I will grant Joe Biden yeah, she has done some horrible stuff. Kamala Harris has done some terrible things. I've told my mother about these things. She still rides hard for her. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, Joe Biden is a mess. He doesn't know where he is, but sometimes he's really fucking funny. Like, I will give him sometimes he gets, like, he gets it on the nose. Like, sometimes he's kind of funny. Like, what did he say about Elon Musk? He was like, "Good luck in space, I guess." Like, Joe Biden is not a really good person. He's done a lot of bad things. Like, we're not going to yesify Joe Biden, but it's, like, pretty funny that he said that. Ooh, a clip. We love our prez. What is this? This is good. I love when you make clips. Love, love, love.
Like, I'm not even that mad at Joe Biden as an individual because, like, you're way too fucking old for me to be mad at you. Because
as I was saying that, I was like, I hope someone is clicking this. Him meeting BTS had me rolling. It was so cute. So, I was asleep on the couch. I was in a deep slumber. I opened my eyes, and on the TV, my boyfriend was watching the news, was Joe Biden and BTS. That's the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes. And I was like, what the hell? I also don't listen to their music, so I didn't know who it was at first. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? I was like, is that a boy band? That looks like a boy band. And then I was like, oh, that's BTS. I know who that is. The Joe Biden Olivia Rodrigo collab had me so weak. Like, this man is on tour, but the tour comes to him. It's in his house. Okay, let's actually focus and do this. So, credit, a lot of the Reagan info came from this website, Soapboxy. The author, it just says Jeff. I really wanted to give you more credit. I was gonna, like, find your, like, if you had, like, a social media linked and put it and all that stuff, but, like, all it says is Jeff. So thank you, Jeff, for writing this article about why we hate Ronald Reagan. It was very helpful to me. I have some quotes from you on this on the slide, but thank you very much. Basically farming Gen Z voters. Yeah. I don't even know, man. Okay. So my family, heaven gained another angel today. Me and hell. Where is Ronald Reagan? I kind of want to make this the class photo. I need to take my glasses off for the class photo. This is going to be the class photo. Smile. Smile. And I can't read the chat, so everyone be on your best behavior. Let's see if that one was good. Perfect. Where can I download these memes? Jeez. Okay, that was a good one. I'm going to do another one, just in case. You know, just in case. I'm glad we're into the emotes. Very much glad. Oh no, late to class, actually. Good thing we're only on slide, like, 3. You're all good. We're here for 29 minutes. Still haven't accomplished anything. But yeah, this would be me when I go to hell. So I made a list of this is not a complete list. This is not a full list. We're taking our time today. Yeah, we are. We're taking our time today. This is not a full list, but this is just a lot of terrible things that he did for us to talk about his death anniversary. So one is Reaganomics. Reaganomics, this is, like, kind of boring, so I'm going to go through it fast. Reaganomics is basically his tax policy. Toric Violet, I'm trying to say your username. It's not going very well for me. Thanks for being here. First time chat. Sorry, this light is, like, really blue, and I don't like it. There we go. There's a lot of content to choose from. Exactly. I tried to pick the big ones. So the four main ideas of Reaganomics was basically reduce government spending, reduce income taxes, reduce government regulations, and it was like anti-inflation. The economy is fucking boring, but like basically the best summary of it is Reaganomics was like trickle down. So meaning if we give a lot of money to the top, it'll trickle down to everyone else. So it's like if we deregulate things and lower taxes on rich people, then they will grow their businesses and they will hire more middle class and poor people, and it'll benefit those groups as well. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. I'm not going to get into the specifics because it's boring and I don't care, and it's not my area of expertise of like inflation and shit. I honestly just do not fucking care. Like, it's boring. I'm sorry. Me barely knowing anything about Reagan because of the shitty education system. Well, you also don't learn that much about him. At least I didn't. A lot of my teachers growing up were major Reagan stans, so like I didn't learn a lot of this shit. Reagan had jokes. Reagan had major jokes. So this is an example of him cutting taxes. So a marginal tax rate basically just means like the more money you make, the more you're paying in taxes on that money. So like I make $65,000. I pay a higher percentage of my income in taxes than I did when I made $30,000. Like, I don't know if that's true actually, but that's just like the basic idea of how marginal tax rates work. Gen X is forever brainwashed by Reagan forever. No, for real. I feel like he didn't even believe in trickle down. He just wanted more money for him and his friends. Yeah, it was honestly, he was just like, BTW, all the Reaganomics created the huge divide we have between the classes today. I have a really cool graph about that. Don't spoil it. I found a really good graph that's really confusing that I'm going to explain it. Mr. Redacted needs a weekly econ segment to explain all this shit to us. Sending to him now. Sending to him now. He thinks it's so fun when y'all bring him up. Sorry, I have to make a lash appointment. My lashes are like all the way fucked up. Florida teachers start at $47,050. Yeah. Hear me out. What if we didn't tax the poor and instead they keep that money for food and education? Seems like would create jobs too. Mr. President 111, you're talking like a president, and I don't know, maybe it would work. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Okay, sorry. All right, sorry. My lashes are just like, I really need to get them fixed. I was supposed to go on Saturday. There was a terrible tropical storm. This is how we live. So here is the marginal tax rate. It used to be high as fuck. Rich people used to pay 80% or like close to it, high 70s on like their money that they made. Not all the money they made. I'm not going to like do a super in-depth explanation of marginal tax rates, but basically they had to pay a fuck ton in taxes. Rich people are paying a fuck ton in taxes. Then Reagan was like, just fucking kidding. And then this is in he was president like all of this time. So, and then we've never gotten back up here. I think today, this is from 2014. This is an old graph, but today it's really low. Like today it's gone down significantly even since 2014. So we live, we laugh, we love. Okay. So this chart is mad confusing. I just want to tell you, I know this graph is mad confusing. We're going to get through it together. Like, I'm going to explain it to you. So this chart shows how Reaganomics is destroying or did destroy the middle class. Okay, this is like from the website. The chart can be a little confusing. The dots along each side represent each percentile of income. So this over here, this would be like high income, like the top 1%. This would be like low income, the bottom 1%. This graph is in 1980. Each dot is showing us like how much was their income growing. Like is this group of people experiencing growth in their income? So we're going to stick with this 1981. This is before Reagan did everything. Before Reagan did everything, the poorest people in our economy were seeing growth each year. They were seeing growth in their income. They were definitely poor, definitely at the bottom of the barrel in terms of like income in the US, but they're seeing growth at a higher rate than anyone else. So they're poor, but they're growing. If you have questions, put them in the chat. The chat is broken. We love that. We love that. Pause. Again. So we're all staying focused. This gray graph is showing us that people who are low income are growing a lot more than people who are high income. People who are high income, the people all the way over like right here towards the right, these people are not growing a ton each year. They're still growing, but not nearly as quickly as low income individuals. So, this red dotted thing, this is showing us in 2014. So this is more recent. Y'all ever hear people mad there's no middle class anymore and blame it on Reagan? They won't believe you. Yeah, literally. So this red one is showing how much are people growing each year in 2014. In 2014, the poorest people of our economy are not growing. They're at 0% or below it. Come on, Professor Redacted, teaching us finance. No, literally. I love graphs. I'm a very visual person. I think visuals are like the best way to learn information that's like confusing and difficult. For me to see it visually is the most helpful. So I like explaining these confusing things. In 2014 and still today, the people that are at the like bottom of the barrel of our economy, the people that are the poorest, they are not growing. The richest people of our economy are growing so fast. So fast. Look at that comparatively. And look at like in the 1980, it wasn't that different. 3.3% growth versus like 1.4% growth. Not a crazy difference. 0% growth versus 6% growth. That's insane. That is insane. This graph is very helpful now that you're explaining it. Literally exponentially faster. That's an unsettling jump in 2014. It is. It is. It is an unsettling jump in 2014. So yeah, you can see very much bad. But in 2014, after waiting over 30 years for something to trickle down, people in that percentile actually saw negative income growth. So, no jobs, just vibes and crime. His administration was no good jobs, just we're doing crime and you have no jobs. I think 700 and something people have more wealth than everyone in America, so thanks, Reagan. Attaboy, who? That's an amazing first time chat. Thank you for being here, and that's probably true. Okay, so when Reagan took office in 1981, unemployment was at 7.5% and dropping. Unemployment was going lower. A few months after his economic policies took effect, unemployment began to rise again. Millions of people lost their jobs and unemployment exceeded 10%. It stayed above 10% for nearly a year, peaking at 10.8%. 3 years after he was elected, unemployment was higher than it was when he was sworn in. So number one is unemployment. And I want to tell you my theory around this. So the whole idea, it's really dark in my room. Sorry, I need to turn my lights on. Give me 1 second. I just realized the lights aren't on, and now that the sun is setting, all that's on me is the ring light, and it's just kind of freaking me out a little. Okay, hi. I'm back. Sorry, had to turn my lights on. That's much better now. I feel like the lighting is better now too. I want to know who was on Reagan's communication team. No jobs. We're just going to start international conflicts because we're going to beat the commies. We're going to destroy inner cities with drugs. Go ahead, Reagan, probably. No, I'm back. Hi. No, I just had to get up. I turned my camera off because I'm sitting on the floor and I was getting up. So, yeah, he gave us a lot of great stuff. So this is my theory about the unemployment. Let me get back focused. So my theory about the unemployment, and I was actually talking to my mom about this. My mom, makes money now. Like when I was a kid, she was like upper middle class, but now she like slays on the income front. And she was telling me, she was like, when I'm paying higher taxes, I invest a lot more money into my business. And that's why Reaganomics doesn't work. Because, like, if you're investing the money back into your business, that's a business expense and you can write that off on your taxes. So she was like, when I'm paying higher taxes, I end up hiring more people, buying more stuff because it's like a better use of my money than like me keeping it or me paying myself. So like that to me is like the ultimate flaw with Reaganomics is like that piece of information right there. Because it's not logical. Like if you're not paying much in taxes, you have no need to do that stuff. Like you have no need to try and be like, ooh, let me get around the taxes by investing into my business. Like just on like a personal level. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it doesn't help jobs, because it's like, well, I'm just going to keep the money, you know? So next we have the Iran-Contra affair. Like I said, I put these slides together super last minute, so they don't really make sense in terms of the order we're going in, but I appreciate you all for bearing with me. So the Iran-Contra affair was a secret U.S. arms deal that traded missiles and other arms to free some Americans held hostage by terrorists in Lebanon. But it also used those funds to support armed conflict in Nicaragua. So this controversial deal threatened to bring down the presidency of Ronald Reagan. This is actually from Khan Academy, which is like hilarious, but it was like the best short description I could find of this when I was rushing. So the Reagan administration secretly sold weapons to Iran to effect the release of American hostages. Basically, the classic more guns solution, literally. So basically, the Reagan administration was like, here, you can have these fucking guns if we can have our hostages back. Then the money from that weapons sale was used to fund the Contras. The Contras, we'll talk more about them later. The Contras were basically like a group of freedom fighters in Nicaragua trying to like overtake the government that was like not that popular with the Nicaraguans. Like they were their own thing, but they were not the majority of Nicaraguans, if that makes sense. So they were like anti-democratic. Like they were not pro-election. Like they were a smaller group trying to take over. So to the freedom fighters opposed to the Marxist government. So yeah, I was getting there. I forgot this one said Marxist, but basically they were trying to overthrow like a communist government. They were trying to prevent communism from taking over in Nicaragua. So that's why Reagan was like helping them out, because he hated communism. Haven't heard Khan Academy since I graduated. OMG. Have a problem, shoot it. Literally. The classic more guns solution. So both the sale of the arms to Iran and the military aid to the Contras were illegal, and Colonial, I don't know how to say that, Oliver North and others in the administration were dismissed and charged with breaking the law. So like it basically, they wanted to give money to people that it was illegal for them to give money to. So they worked around that by selling weapons to someone they're not allowed to sell weapons to, I guess. It's pronounced like popcorn kernel. Were the Nicaraguan freedom fighters like fascist? I don't know much about them. I'm not going to speak on it because I don't really know, but I do know that they were very violent. They killed a lot of people, and really the only reason Reagan fucked with them is because they were anti-communist, is all I got for you. Sorry. So let's say Iran-Contra affair. Congress, this is from Reddit, and here's the person's username. Congress, don't give weapons to the terrorists in Nicaragua, the Reagan administration. Why don't we just sell missiles to those Islamic fundamentalists who hate us for putting the Shah in power and use the money to finance the Contras? That's a 200 level IQ move. I'm gonna explain what this part means later. Thank you, Tori. I cannot spell ever. Yeah, I'm going to explain what this means. Quick Google search says Contras were right-wing, presumably why they supported them, because Cold War wasn't over yet. Yeah, exactly. They hated communism. You actually see pictures from 1970s Iran, and it's really depressing. Yeah, it was, like, beautiful there. When you use the profits from selling weapons to a brutal authoritarian government who affords smuggling to terrorists on the other side of the world. Yay! Anyone who wanted weapons in the late 20th century, all they had to do was tell the U.S. they hated commies. I cannot take credit for this meme. I found it on the internet, but it was on like a know your meme type page, so I didn't feel the need to give anyone credit because no credit was given. It's good. It is a good one. So, more stuff Reagan did. Oh, here's another meme. Congress, how did Nicaraguan death squads end up with all these illegal weapons? And how did Iran get all these illegal missiles? The Reagan administration. The secret ingredient is crime. It's the secret sauce is crime. I actually kind of want to rearrange my screen a little bit. I feel like this screen is too little. I'm going to make me littler. Look, I'm little. Haha. Make you bigger. There we go. I think that's like kind of a better vibe. And now I can take a picture with this meme because I feel like you can actually read her better. We're taking a picture with this meme. The shirt is like kind of tight on me. I don't know how I feel about it. Nixon walked so Ronnie could run. No, literally. Nixon walked so Ronald Reagan could run is absolutely the vibes. Okay, so democracy. We don't know her. Reagan supported the violent overthrow of multiple democratically elected an elected government. He illegally supported the Nicaraguan Contras, whom he called freedom fighters, despite the fact that they killed civilians, and wanted to overthrow the democratically elected government to restore the dictatorship that had previously existed. So, womp, there it is. President Ronald Reagan signed off on a secret document, blah, 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 which gave the CIA the power to recruit and support a 500-man force of Nicaraguan rebels to conduct covert actions against the leftist Sandinista regime in Nicaragua. A budget of $19 million was established for that purpose. $19 million. Oh my god. The oof. That was funny. That was very funny. The oof. Where did you get that? Oh, it's like a different thing you're subscribed to. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, so you can use my face on other people's. Ooh, very interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay, so yeah. Supported violently overthrowing a democratically elected governor. He also illegally supplied arms to both sides of the Iran-Iraq war. Full disclosure, I don't know that much about this war. It's not something I'm super educated on, but I think it's really not chill for you to especially fund both sides of a war. Seems fucked up. Emotes are always so fun. I need to make more. I need ideas and to learn how. So this is like the too long didn't read version, and then on the next slide it like explains it a little more. Oh, I felt that one. He armed Saddam Hussein's Iraq during the Iran-Iraq war, that's hard to say, despite the fact that it was widely known that Iraq was using chemical weapons. And also, while he was supplying Iraq with weapons, he also armed Iran, which was in direct violation of a U.S. law that he signed. So that's the too long didn't read. Wasn't the Iran-Iraq war started for no reason? It's almost like being profit-motivated is mutually exclusive to morality. Almost. It's almost like that. It's almost like that. This is the longer version. So in 1979, revolutionary forces in Iran overthrew the U.S.-backed Shah, and a new country was born, the Islamic Republic of Iran. So the forces in Iran overthrew a dude that we put in there. That same year, Iranian students stormed the U.S. embassy and captured 52 Americans, holding them hostage. The Iranian hostage crisis is a huge factor. Blah, 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 blah. Despite his strong public opinion his strong public opposition to the new Iranian regime, Reagan's administration soon began selling large quantities of arms to Iran. So this is the Iran-Contra affair part. That's this thing right here. Their reasoning, Iraq had just invaded Iran, and Reagan's strident anti-Soviet policies led to fear that an Iran unable to fight back would fall into Soviet hands. And then the Reagan administration also provided highly classified intelligence to Iraq. If you're confused, you're correct, because it's confusing. In the spring of 1982, more than 2 years earlier than they'd previously discussed, while also permitting the sale of American-made arms to Baghdad in a successful effort to help President Saddam Hussein avert imminent defeat in the war with Iran, former intelligence and State Department officials say. So I'm double learning right now, LOL, to learning to draw emotes and listening to how shit this white man was. So yeah, he supported both sides, I guess. Like, He supports money. Like, that's what he supports. This is Reagan giving weapons to these countries. Like, just fully out here. Out here in these streets, giving weapons to everyone on every side of armed conflict. He also caved to the demands of terrorists on multiple occasions. After several Americans were taken hostage in Lebanon, Reagan provided weapons to Iran. We've talked about this a couple times. And then again, he gave in. After Reagan sent in Marines to Beirut for a peacekeeping mission, a terrorist truck bombed and killed 241 Marines. Reagan responded by immediately doing exactly what the terrorists wanted, pulling all troops out of Beirut. So on 2 different occasions, he gave in to the demands of terrorists. I'm not a foreign policy expert, but I just find that ironic that he was like so anti-everyone and was like, I'm the strong man, and then just like continuously gave in. He also helped create Al-Qaeda. The Reagan administration armed and supported the, I'm not going to pronounce that because I'm going to do it incorrectly, rebels in Afghanistan. Many members like Osama bin Laden used their experience in Afghanistan to help them form Al-Qaeda. Operation Cyclone was the code name for funding and financing these rebels from 1979 to 1992. I know next to nothing about U.S. involvement in foreign affairs. Like, why did we have to be involved in stuff that had nothing to do with us? Sorry, it just sounds ignorant. I just don't get it. No, you're not ignorant at all, because, like, that's the most obvious question that our government can't seem to answer. So the short answer is that our government is trash and they make money off of these things. The long answer is basically the U.S., like, historically, for most of the stuff that I talk about, the U.S. really hates communism and hates the Soviet Union. So the U.S. gets involved in a lot of things that are not our business under, like, we hate communism and we don't want communism to spread. A lot of what Reagan did in this time period was because of that. It's also because our country kind of like makes weapons. Like, that's our country's business. Like, that's our main export is weapons. And various weapon companies, like, there's a lot of few big ones like Lockheed Martin, something that starts with a G, someone refresh my memory here. They basically pay government officials, like the president, Congress, whatever, to allow them to sell American weapons to all these other countries, despite the ethics behind it. So that's why we're always involved, because, like, those weapons manufacturers are like, hey, start these wars so that we can sell more weapons. So then our government is like, yes, daddy weapon manufacturer, I will start all the wars so that you can continue to make money and then give me some of the money. That's kind of the best way for me to explain, like, why we continue to get involved. Ooh, someone said, I'm guessing it has to do with U.S. imperialism and wanting to oppress other countries. I would say that's, like, the foundation of U.S. involvement. Raytheon, that's it. So, like, really in, like, the 1800s, the U.S. was on her imperialism vibe and was like, we want power and we want land and we want to take over everyone. That's the other reason, is that we think we're the best and we think everyone else is dumb. So we just take over other countries all the time. Of course, there's also racism on an international level. We know that Reagan was very racist on a domestic level, but also internationally. He supported the racist apartheid government in South Africa. For those of you that don't know, South Africa was segregated for a very long time, up until the 1990s, I believe. And South Africa only has a 10% white population. So when it's segregated and, like, there's, like, oppression there, like, mathematically, it's, like, very intense as well, as opposed to, like, African Americans, black people in South Africa are not, like, black people in South Africa are widely the majority when African Americans were not statistically the majority when you look at those segregation times. So it just makes it kind of different and compared to what the, like, average American would think of for segregation, if that makes sense. Oh my God. Little dick complex to Ronald Reagan. Okay, so when the white minority in South Africa brutally repressed the black majority, even denying them the right to vote. Like, think about a country where 90% of the population can't vote. Like, Blue Booby, thanks for subscribing again. You're subscribed for 3 months? You're on a 3-month streak? Thanks. Elon Musk was born and grew up there before segregation ended, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, that's also true. Elon Musk is, like, grew up in this era, like, in South Africa. But President Reagan opposed any sanctions on South Africa and vetoed a bill. Congress was forced to override the veto because basically Congress wanted to pass a law to put pressure on South Africa, and Ronald Reagan was like, no, I don't want to put pressure on them. So it's like, I'm not trying to make a pun, but like that's a pretty black and white issue to me. Like, just pass the bill. Like it's the 80s. Like, just pass it. Like, I don't see how that's controversial. He was fixated on communism. That's honestly his special interest. Like, that's Reagan's special interest is communism. It's fine. We all have our special interest. He just took his way too fucking far and became the president, which was really not chill. So he supported Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega. Later, when Noriega became too close with Fidel Castro, he suddenly considered an enemy and had him removed him from power. Only good commie is a dead commie, Red Foreman. He supported Saddam Hussein when he committed the most brutal atrocities on Earth, killing thousands of his own people. Okay, this author wrote most brutal atrocities on Earth. I don't know about that. Years later, when Saddam threatened our oil supply, used the same atrocities to go to war with him. He supported Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos, even after Marcos killed his political rival and rigged his own re-election. Netflix removing that 70 show is my largest gripe in life. That man was literally around during the Dust Bowl. Why couldn't he fixate on that like the rest of us? That's what I'm saying. Like, he had so much material and he went with this shit. He supported a brutal regime in El Salvador that was widely known they were killing civilians, including Americans, after 4 American nuns... Nuns? You didn't even say the nuns? Did you guys ever realize that the characters from that 70s show grow up to be boomer parents? Like, Donna and Eric are boomers. Ugh, that doesn't sit right with me. So, after 4 American nuns were murdered by Salvadorian soldiers, Reagan's Secretary of State defended the Salvadorians, suggesting that the nuns might have been shot while trying to run a military roadblock. But this wouldn't explain why they were also R-worded before they were killed. Jesus Christ. Dr. Y'all, thanks for the subscription. Thank you. God, that one was a lot worse than I thought it was. Like, I knew it was going to be bad, but Jesus. I don't know, Eric is kind of a shithead. I do see that. I like Donna, though. She was cool. Corruption, of course. Reagan's administration was super, super corrupt. It had more documented corruption than any president in U.S. history. At least 138 Reagan administration officials, including several cabinet members, were investigated for, indicted for, or convicted of crimes. This is the largest number of any U.S. president, and many of them were pardoned by Reagan or President Bush before they could even stand trial. So this is a list of all the people that were basically like investigated, doing crime, whatever. I'd like to believe that Donna and Eric would have been decent boomers. Hyde Def would have been a conspiracy theory uncle. Hyde is attractive, I'll say it. Jackie would have been a Karen for sure. Oh, absolutely. Jackie's character is screaming in someone in a Belks right now. Absolutely. It's good. I'm so ready. I'm excited. Okay. Woohoo. Okay, the secretary... Oh, I went too fast. So, a bunch of people. I'm not going to like go through all these, but these are all his high-ranking people, at least that got in trouble. At least 9 Reagan appointees were convicted of perjury, lying to Congress, obstruction of Congress, or contempt of Congress. Did Reagan have more corruption than Trump? Ooh, I think documented and investigated. I think. Yeah, I think. I don't know. These are examples of him like directly lying. He told stories about having been a U.S. Army photographer assigned to film Nazi death camps, but he never visited or filmed anything. So I don't really know why he would say that. He could have just not said that. Like, I get when people are backed into a corner and they lie, but like, even if someone asked you that directly, you could have just be like, oh no, I never did that. Like, I don't see why you had to lie about that. I had a crush on the Hyde until I learned the actor essayed someone. Oh, there it is. It's always that one. Damn, that's tough. Ronald Reagan often told a story about a Chicago welfare queen who had 80 aliases and gotten over $150,000 in welfare. She never existed, and investigators did find someone who had 2 aliases and received $8,000. However, Reagan continued to tell a false version of the story. He also claimed that trees create more pollution than automobiles, which is very just like dramatically untrue. Like, I think this is really when we start to see politicians just fucking lying. Just like telling a lie that we know is a lie in the moment and just being like, no, I mean that. That's true. And like gaslighting us. This is the beginning of our gaslighting era. He also set records for budget deficits. A budget deficit is when you do not have enough money to pay for all the things that you need to pay for. A deficit is when you don't have enough money. The tree statement is fucking outrageous. Thank you. Thank you. I think he's on trial right now for a lot of the allegations, bringing up all the secret Scientology people keep hidden. I think, oh my god, he was a Scientologist. They didn't have Snopes back then, not the tree slander. So after he criticized President Carter for having a $50 deficit, Reagan's, or $50 billion deficit, a $50 deficit would be really manageable. That's another thing. He's a Scientologist. Of course he is. So Reagan's own deficit was $200 billion. He was talking all that shit about the $50 billion, but his own deficit was $200 billion. Like, okay, make it make sense. So he tripled the national debt in only 8 years. I don't think we've recovered from this. I still think like the position in the U.S. is in today with our national debt. I think some of it is still this. Someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Although Republicans blamed Congress for all the deficits, all 8 of the budgets Congress had passed had less spending and smaller deficits than the budgets proposed by Reagan. So he's really just blaming everyone. And because his budget was so bad, he also robbed Social Security. So, you know, when you get your paycheck and you're like, hey, all this fucking money is going to Social Security. Who the fuck is that? That's the money that you're supposed to get when you're old. And it goes into an account and the government is like, we as daddy government will protect your money and we'll give it to you when you're old. That's how it's supposed to work. But he like robbed that bank account to pay for his budget shortfalls, basically. So after he cut taxes for the rich, so tax revenue didn't fund the government, he borrowed hundreds of billions of dollars from the Social Security trust fund to pay the country's bills, and the money has never been paid back. Why is the U.S. always in so much debt? Just poor budget management. Do you guys know that meme? I'm going to find it. It's like a meme about a candle budget. Okay. It's loading. Sorry. Okay, so it's this meme. Food 200, data 150, rent 800, candles 3,600, utility 150. Someone who is good at the economy. Please help me with this budget. My family is dying. And then someone said spend less on candles, and they said no. That is the U.S. with military spending. Like, candles is our military spending. Like, that's why our budget is always bad, and that's why we're always in debt, is because we're spending so much money on the military. Like, so fucking much money on the military. Like, so much money. So, this is the best way that I can describe our, like, financial problems is this, except it's not candles, it's the military. Reagan buying weapons for other countries versus Reagan buying social programs for Americans. No, for real. Oh, we're still talking about Hyde. Military spending is disgusting. And it's so expensive. Like, be responsible for once in your life, even down to the municipal level with police. No, yeah, literally. Like, a lot of cities spend, like, half their budget on policing, which is just, like, a lot. Like, I know I spend half my income on rent, but that's, like, not my own fault. You know what I mean? Like, you should never be spending half your money on anything. He also fucked over the farmers. So Reagan's policies, Reagan should have laid Gwyneth's cooch candles. I was about to ask how he became... This is the comment right here. I was about to ask how he became a heroic figure when he's so blatantly terrible, but then I remembered Trump. Is Reagan robbing the Social Security pot why it's not doing well today? What's the difference between deficit and debt? So debt is like you owe people money, and a deficit is like this budget is not balanced and we need to get the money from somewhere. Like either steal it from a bank account, borrow it from somebody. Like a deficit causes debt, if that makes sense. But you could have a deficit and like fix it by cutting something else and not go into debt, I think. Again, Mr. Redacted needs to be here. I'm not qualified to be answering these kinds of questions. But yeah, so he fucked over farmers as well. By some accounts, nearly 1/3 of all farms were at risk of being foreclosed during the 1980s. Reagan vetoed a farm credit bill that would have given farmers some relief. His popularity among farmers dropped so low that at one point, when discussing the exportation of grain to other countries, Reagan joked that he would like to keep the grain and export the farmers. This feels kind of personal to Jimmy Carter. Like, I feel like he was like, oh, that motherfucker Jimmy Carter, back on his peanut farm. Fuck that bitch. I don't give a fuck about farms. Like, that's what this feels like, is he fucked over the farmers because he didn't like Jimmy Carter, is the vibe that I'm getting. He also fucked over the Black Panther Party via gun control. I talked about this when I did a lesson on the Black Panther Party. For those of you that were here for that, thank you for coming. But throughout the 1960s, this is when he was governor of California. This is before he was president. Let me just preface that. Ooh, wait. Have you heard about the woman that was stealing from her city in Alabama and spending all the money on horses? The city only had a budget of $8 million and she was taking $2 million a year and spending it on horses. Imagine you've lived in this town all your life, and for 25 years this woman was taking 1/3 of the city budget and spending it on horses. I'd be like, we don't have fucking healthcare. What's wrong with you? Horse girls stay on their BS. It's giving Anna Delvey. I'll get you the money. There's an issue with the bank. I haven't seen that movie. I should watch. Like, the roads were just not getting fixed. Yeah, I can imagine if you're spending $2 million a year on horses. That's the candle budget, but with horses. Like, actually, fully. It really is. Sorry, I dropped something. It's called Wine and Crime has an episode about it. It's called Pink Collar Crimes. That's fucking insane. Horse girls are gonna take over the country. Honestly, I would rather a government official steal money for something they're passionate about, like horses, than steal money to fund weapons in other countries. Like, I'd prefer that. Like, if a government official stole $2 million for horses, I would be less angry than if a government stole $1 million to send weapons anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least the horses aren't hurting anybody. Like, the only reason she got caught is because she got arrogant and took a 4-month vacation saying I love horses. Like, I'd be at the horse farm and I'd be like, dude, you see that that's not okay. Like, it's beautiful here. They look very majestic, but, like, come on. Someone else found the account she was putting money in. Was it labeled, like, horse account? Do they still have military horses? I'm sure they do. Because the police have horses. And so there's no way that the military is letting the police have something that they don't have. That's why I know the military has horses. I would bet my life that the military has at least one horse somewhere. They have to, because police have them. Her official salary was $50,000 a year, and she was buying a $100,000 horse. She gets to, like, the horse dealer, or whatever. Like, the horse salesman. And he's like, what do you do for a living? And she's like, oh, I'm a city budget manager for this tiny town. And he's like, who reported her? Oh, right, you said it was when she went on vacation. She was putting it in a bank account labeled sewage or something because no one would look into it. The horses. That's, like, kind of iconic. Like, it's not, but it is. You know what I mean? $2 million of sewage. Okay, so back to Ronald Reagan and why we hate him. Ooh, that sounded very Southern. I even heard it that time. The way I just said Ronald Reagan. I wouldn't want to negotiate with the WM. What is that? It's the hat. Thank you so much for this intel. Yeah, those, like, fucking horses. Okay, so when he was governor, when Ronald Reagan was governor, he also really screwed over the Black Panther Party. Oh, waste management. I wouldn't want to negotiate with waste management. At first I saw the W and I thought it was going to say white women because I'm assuming this is a white woman who stole millions of dollars for horses. That has strong white woman energy, I'm going to be honest. As a white woman in a cowgirl hat. But anyway, throughout the late 1960s, the Black Panther Party would carry weapons. Like, I put a picture right here. They would carry weapons as, like, a display of, like, we're protecting our community from police brutality. The Black Panther Party was originally founded to protect black communities from police brutality, so they did carry weapons, because if you're protecting from someone that has a weapon, you should probably have a weapon. Not even on any pro-gun or violence, but if you're protecting yourself against someone with a gun, I would want a gun, personally. It was a white lady. It was a white Alabama lady. I knew it. Called it. Because no one else would have the audacity to steal millions of dollars to buy horses other than a white woman from Alabama. Like, no one else would have that audacity. Like, a white man from Alabama would steal way more money, but they wouldn't spend it on horses. You know what I mean? Like, they'd spend it on, like, bombs, which is worse, but still. Okay, so this display, like, freaked out Ronald Reagan. Obviously, you look at this is, like, Ronald Reagan's fucking nightmare right here. So, Ronald Reagan helped pass a very, like, surprisingly strict gun control law. So this took California down the path of having some of the strictest gun control laws in America. So yeah, it prohibited the open carry of loaded firearms, along with prohibiting loaded firearms on the state capitol. So that's how you know it was directly about them, because this is the state capitol. So, like, you can't say that that wasn't about anybody else. You know what I mean? She also had, like, 4 vacation homes. No one questioned where her money was coming from. It blew my mind. So that's the thing. As someone from, like, a small town, when there is a family and they have a lot of money, but none of them have rich person jobs, that's just something people don't really ask questions about. Like, it's just assumed it's family money. And which is, like, probably, like, goes back to slavery for the times, you know, in the geographic area. So it's just like people just don't ask, you know? Like, people assume that it's family money and it's not something that you ask about, because, like, especially in the South, it's, like, rude to ask about money and your family's money and, like, why your house is so big. Because it's like, oh, my granddaddy built this house. So, like, it makes sense to me that she was able to get away with this. Like, I'm 0% surprised. Why do I feel like that woman that denied the gay marriage license? What was her name? Do you guys remember her name? I just remember her hair was bad. That's all I really remember about her. Someone tell me what her name was. That woman that denied the marriage license. I'm sending you all a message in the chat right now. There's also that guy that worked at the really famous bakery in Texas that embezzled millions, and he and his wife could never get oil changes. So they would just get a whole new car instead of an oil change? Jesus Christ, people are fucking insane. We might not get through all these slides today. We might only have time for the Reagan stuff. I'm going to be honest. I think we might only have time for the Reagan stuff because we've already been here for an hour and 15 minutes and we're not even done with the Reagan stuff. So Reagan also fucked over the Black Panther Party via gun control throughout the late we already talked about this. I literally already finished this entire thing. Wow. Incredible. He also fucked over the financial industry. How do you love money and fuck over the financial industry? How do you love money and fuck over the finance guys? So financial deregulation and changes to the tax code ultimately caused 750 financial institutions to fail, and this cost the taxpayers $150 billion. So he also fucked over finance. This is like the worst one and the last one of our Reagan stuff is the AIDS epidemic. Like I said, we did not go through everything bad Reagan did. I didn't get into any of the war on drugs stuff because I did a whole stream about the war on drugs, so it just felt redundant to me. but the AIDS epidemic. So Reagan basically reacted to the AIDS epidemic by doing nothing. Many conservatives believed that the AIDS was God's punishment because it was mostly affecting gay men at this time. Today, the statistics are like very, like, I don't think it's like shows up in people of a certain sexuality more statistically. But Reagan did not publicly talk about AIDS until the 6th year of his pregnancy. Presidency. You can tell I'm like unwell. You can tell I'm unwell. You can see it in me. I'm on my period. I had a long day at work. Presidency, pregnancy, same difference. So, yeah, basically, congratulations, it's a deficit. That was funny. That was funny, and you knew it was funny. Gouda Lover? Wait, who was that? Gab Page. Congratulations, it was a deficit. And then Gouda Lover, did anyone see the Nancy Reagan stamp during Pride Month? I did see that. Pregnant for all 6 years, no wonder he did all that. I did see that Nancy Reagan stamp. Y'all don't got bigger shit to worry about. How about I give the post office some money? Those are the only boys in blue I'll back is the post office. Give them a post office worker appreciation week. Give them a week off or give them $100,000 or something. They deserve it. So yeah, basically Ronald Reagan was president and did nothing for the AIDS epidemic and was just like, I don't really care, and didn't like give funding for it, didn't try and prevent any deaths, did nothing. From 1981 to 1990, so while he was president, there were over 100,000 people who died from AIDS. And almost a third of those were in 1990, so you can see like he did nothing. So it wasn't dementia, it was just pregnancy. So yeah, Ronald Reagan did nothing, and a ton of people died. Particularly, it was mostly gay men that died at this time. Very, very sad. Rest in peace. I'm sorry, our government failed you. It's brutal. Here's another meme about Reagan. I think I've already showed this on here. I didn't make this. I found it online. So Ronald Reagan, what he said is this versus what he actually did. All he did was like the opposite of what he said, pretty much. 0 stars. So, worst fucking president. I think this should be the class photo, actually. I think it's the most clear. Nice to see that the throat goat got her own stamp. Oh my god. Okay, everyone smile for your class picture. I'm taking more. Don't worry, I'm taking more. Okay. This is the throat goat's male white. Fuck Ronald Reagan. The way I recognize the Canva font. I told y'all I was in a rush. I was in a rush. Big rush. Big time rush. Making this. Alright, so reacting to my former principal's letter to the class of 2022, I was gonna like... Don't forget about your glasses. Oh wait, my glasses. Alright, I didn't want my glasses on. Thank you. We're taking another class photo. Mommy had her glasses on. Everyone smile. Smile for the camera. So cute and gorgeous. Send your fuck Reagan messages. I can't see anything you're doing. Perfect. We live, we laugh, we love. I'm going to do another one. Someone send the thumbs down emoji for the US for the thumbnail. I'm waiting. Waiting to click it. Watch the chat be broken. I would be fucking deceased if the chat was broken right now. Thank you, Quarter Life Crisis. Star student. Star students. Okay. One of those will be the thumbnail. I'm done thumbnailing. Do you watch Tasia Alexis on TikTok with her daughter Greenlee? Me and Miss Tasia Alexis are actually, we both went to the same alternative school, and I have been watching her since Vine. I do not know her. We did not go to the same alternative school at the same time. We were there at different times. I think we also went to different campuses. But we did both go to Faith Academy. Yeah, I think Tasia Alexis is hilarious. That's kind of where I stole Cute and Gorgeous from. I mean, I highly doubt she was the first person to say that, but yeah, I love it. So Cute and Gorgeous, I did definitely get that from her, and I say it 1,000 times a day. Cute and Gorgeous, I feel it, Cute and Gorgeous. Okay, so reacting to my former principal's letter to the class of 2022, I put a poll about this, and then I made a tweet where I basically was like, oh fuck. Sorry, my Twitter's going insane. I made a tweet about like, oh, should I grade it? And then I just kind of, I still don't add or subtract from the population from you, so it all works out. Yeah, exactly. So I made a tweet about this where I was like, oh, should I grade this? And then I made a TikTok about it, and then I started to overthink it, and I felt bad because like, do I hate the man that wrote this? Yes, I hate him so much. He has been so mean to me and so manipulative to me. But he was trying to say something nice for children, and so I felt bad. And so I don't want to roast it too hard, so I'm only going to do part of it. Because some of it, I was rereading it, and I was like, okay, this is, like, genuine, so, like, let me not be a fucking bitch. Oh, my Twitter is going insane. Okay, Flex. No, I meant, like, it was, like, refreshing weird, and everything was popping up. I had, like, 19 notifications. It was not really in that moment like that. But yeah, I didn't want to roast it too fucking bad because it was like a nice, genuine letter to children. And actually we're running out of time, so we're just going to skip this because... But he was a bitch first, Miss Redacted. I know. Okay, we'll do part of it. Fine, you convinced me. So I feel bad for catfishing you, but we'll do part of it. So I only clipped the first part because this is really what reads like a 5th grade essay. Like the rest of it... She's a bigger person than him. You say as I'm going through it now. So the rest of it was like genuine and whatever. But I just wanted to look at this part right here because like this is the reason why I made that tweet. Because one of the number one rules that I like to teach children is like if you are starting your essay with a definition, that is lazy fucking writing. That is lazy writing. Your hook is a definition. That is ridiculous. To me, like, if a child gave me that on a paper, I'd be like, you can do better. You can do better than that. You're not going to give me a definition as a hook. Absolutely not. Any teachers in the chat, let me know. Definition as a hook, absolutely not. So, to the extraordinary school graduating class of 2022, extraordinary is defined as very unusual or remarkable or great. I hate a definition as a hook. Thank you. That's just really what I wanted to do. Graduating class of 2022. No other class has embodied this term more than you. As you begin your senior year of high school, you were forced to take on the same challenges that your predecessors, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, you came across obstacles nobody has ever had to face in modern history. You were all inextricably, I drilled it into my 8th grader's head. You were all inextricably linked. Also, like, not to be a bitch, but he pulls out a thesaurus. I've seen it before. In emails, he uses a thesaurus. He does it in these letters. He does it to prepare to write speeches. Like, he be on the thesaurus. And, like, you can tell. Marley Bean, it's your first live. Welcome. He be on the thesaurus. Like, that's one thing. I know that this was not his first thought. I know that there was a thesaurus for this. 2 years ago, as sophomores in high schools, your lives were inadvertently altered by the coronavirus as 10th graders. See what I mean? Like, this is just kind of boring. Like, I just mainly wanted to show you that it started with a definition, and that was, like, not the vibe. That it started with a definition, and I was just angry about that, and I wanted to talk about it. I only use thesaurus to remind me of the word I can't remember. Yeah, exactly. When I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, it's not it. There's a better word than that. I know what it is, but it's not there. That's when you use a thesaurus. So, do we have time for this? Yeah, it's only 9. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm in this big fucking rush. I'm just tired. So it feels later than 9, but it's not. This is itching my head, and it's kind of not a vibe. So, now that we got through all of our, like, weird stuff, not weird stuff, but, like, unusual stuff, thesaurus and synonyms save my papers, I swear to God. If you know how to use it well, it can be really good. So let's go ahead and go through education horror stories and some people spilling the tea. But first, I want to show you this funny thing that I found on Twitter. So it's a letter. I don't know the context of this. I looked at the tweet, couldn't really gather any context, but I just thought it was funny and I wanted to share it with you. Could it be fake? It absolutely could be fake. Could it be real? It could be real. It's just a joke. That was such a boring and uninspiring opening paragraph. Exactly. That's why I was like going through it and I was like, this is him trying to be nice to children, and I never want to diminish people being nice. And also, it's just badly written, and, like, it was very redundant. Like, I only put the first paragraph because, like, the rest of it was just redundant, that I was like, this is just boring. I was like, this feels mean-spirited, and I don't like to be mean-spirited. Am I petty? Yes, I am petty, but I'm not mean-spirited. And it felt mean-spirited, and it also was just not going to be that interesting because it was going to be us making fun of the same, like, averagely written sentence again and again. So I found this letter that is fucking hilarious that I found on Twitter. This is the person that tweeted it. It's JoBro14. I don't know who that is, but I found this on Twitter. Content warning, there are slut shame vibes. Basically, this is a teacher talking shit to a parent, and she does slut shame her. So I just wanted to tell you. So in case that's, like, triggering or that's a sensitive topic for you. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean that serious, because that used to be a very sensitive topic for me. That you could, you could depart if you wanted to. I really hate the ring light on my glasses. But anyway, I saw this letter. It was crazy. Yeah. Okay, so Miss King, I am not on any social media. However, your inappropriate message on Facebook was sent to me. I looked on the Twitter thread to try and find the Facebook message. Could not find it anywhere on that thread. I'm sorry. When you mentioned the 5th grade teachers at Maddie Aiken, at that moment, I knew you... At that moment, you were referring to me because I was a 5th grade teacher. I would not and could not respond to you because at that time, I was an employee of GPSD. I don't know what that is. Today, I am officially retired, so I can officially respond to your post. How did the teacher have time to write such a long letter? You'll see, this one was building. Like, they get detailed into it. They had time for this. My initial thought was to go live through school status with the other parents who participated in the 5th grade transition program since you went live on the book, as it was called. I don't really know what she means by this. The teacher retired. That's why, yeah, they were like, this was their retirement gift to themselves. But then I had to remember how I was raised and take into consideration that you look older than you are, but you are just a big baby. Our mindset is much different, and I realize you have some maturing to do. It takes more than pushing out a baby to be a mother. Children should be a mother's first priority, not orchestrating beauticians and barbers, ghetto balls, hosting Henry's, Tito's, and tacos, and taking photo shoots as if you're in high school. The book of Facebook. Oh, I get it now. I thought she was talking about a book. I thought she was, like, on live talking about a book. That makes more sense. The book is Facebook. So yeah, she basically, I guess, stalked her on Facebook and fucking came for her for all these events and photos. Isaiah was never intimidated by teachers. Isaiah thought he was going to do the intimidating. There's a difference between intimidating and not allowing a student to be disrespectful and defiant. The thing that bothers me the most is you know your child better than anyone else, but what's baffling to me is that you wanted to dictate to the 5th grade teachers what we were supposed to do and what we already knew. But here's a parent that not once ever got her child to school at 7:45. He was late every single day, but you didn't seem to think missing instruction was a problem. Let's not forget, he slept when he got to school. To be honest, I kind of want the Tito's and taco invite. Yeah, that's what I mean, that, like, you'll see later, some of this is giving slut shame, and some of the, like, this lady seems like she knows how to throw a party. Like, I think she definitely needs to work on how she talks to teachers and interacts with the school, but, like, I don't know, the party seemed kind of fun. Like, I would go. Is that bad? I would go. Apparently, you don't know the definition of bullying. Once again, in the parent-teacher conference with Miss Irvin, you were told that bullying never took place. You tend to use that word too loosely. If we intimidated to your son, surely the other students were also intimidated as well. Bullying was not allowed in Unit C. Why does that sound like prison? Now, did the students and your son have normal 5th grade children issues? They did. Did your child use curse words fluently, cursing out other students? He did. But did never a parent call with a concern that Isaiah was bullying them? I don't know if you were referring to me as the teacher that didn't like your son's mother and would let it be known. If so, this is what got me. This part's my favorite because this is how I feel to literally everyone. Does sound like prison cell block C. If so, I don't know you. I don't know you enough to not like you. You were never an important factor in my life to the point where I liked or disliked you. You were never a thought once I left work. You've discussed me several times with your cousin and my coworker, Chiquetta Murphy, while doing the sleek ponytails. So I guess her and her cousin and this lady's coworker all talk shit at like the hair salon. As I told Miss Irvin, what I called the other students was not your concern. I never called your son a, you'll see why I redacted that. So therefore, it shouldn't have been an issue. Your issue should have been that he wrote like a 2nd grader and never really worked on grade level in math. I taught your child to the best of my ability. However, education starts at home first. You are his first teacher. When he didn't master the skill from me, that's when you should have picked up the slack. Instead, you sent messages through school status with question marks and exclamation marks. Those nails make me uncomfy. Yeah, whatever. It looks like they're like doing something. Like they had something on their hand, like they were like cleaning something or working on a craft or something. Not once did you ever call me or Miss Sims say, what can we do to help my son in math? Or Miss Sims, what happened here today? From day one, you've had a nasty disposition. Your attitude was horrible, and I see why your son behaved the way he did at times. I have daughters, but I never discussed a teacher in their presence, nor would have paid my daughters to hunch their shoulders, talk back, and refuse to do what we asked. D's and F's were never accepted in my home. So you can gather that letter is just fucking crazy. I'm not going to go through every part of it, but I just wanted to show you this teacher that retired and wrote this letter that you can tell she had really been wanting to write. So let's go through some education horror stories and some spilling the tea that people have submitted. So I had an AP World History teacher that was literally the worst teacher I've ever seen. I'm now a teacher, and I look back on some of the things he did and wonder how he was not fired. I'm glad she retired, LMAO. Yeah, she sounds like a lot. I just wanted to share because I thought it was crazy when I saw it. Okay, I had an AP World History teacher that was literally the worst teacher I've ever seen. I'm now a teacher, and I look back on some of the things he did. I wonder how he was not fired. Spoiler alert, it's because he always brought high scores. I heard a rumor the year before I had him that there was an incident with some of his Asian students. He apparently put all of the students in the class at one table and called it Asian Island. Whenever the rest of the class couldn't answer a question, he would refer back to Asian Island to answer it. That is not good. That is not okay and not good. And my title to this is Classrooms Should Be Hate Crime Free Zones. I didn't realize that's something we needed to designate, but unfortunately, apparently we do. Part 2. He also believed that we never landed on the moon. Interesting. Yeah, big oof. First time chat. That is a big oomph. Vibrant Brit. Big oomph. He also believed that we never landed on the moon and would actively talk about it in class. One time he even showed us a documentary about us and then got mad when some of the students were debunking the conspiracy, though. Low-key, I kind of see him with the moon. I also remember one time he made a homophobic joke in the middle of class. When no one laughed, he said, "Come on, guys, it's fun to make fun of the others." Woo. Ooh, that's rough. That was a weird thing to say. Like, if you made a joke and it didn't land, just move on. He also said that he wouldn't want to adopt a child because the child wouldn't be his. I'm sure there's other things he did, but this is all I can remember right now. How do you teach AP and fall for one of the easiest debunked conspiracy theories? Alright, so this is a really fucked up game that a teacher played with students. Trigger warning, men being weird, I guess, is the trigger warning here. So I've sent in a story about this English teacher before, but the last stream made me remember this detail about him, and it's sus looking back. I took AP English with this guy, and he was fucking awful. The first few weeks he was okay, but later in the year his incompetence and misogyny really shone through the curriculum, but the first week of school he played a game with us. I think we just would have faked the moon landing because communism. Yeah, I feel like, so when it comes to the moon conspiracy, before we get into this fucked up game, I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. faked it because of communism, but also I feel like we definitely have before. Like, I don't think it's still fake. Like, maybe we faked it early. You know what I'm saying? This is mine. It's such a weird experience with him. Oh my god, Gab Page, this is yours? Okay, so let's get into this game that Gab Page had to play at school that, like, you deserve financial compensation for. The game involved him taping 2 lines on the floor, and we had to stand on the lines facing each other. As he made statements, we had to step forward or backward based on if the answer was yes or no. He started out with statements like, I've cheated on a test in elementary school, I cheated on a test in middle school, I bullied, I've been bullied. There was a blanket disclaimer that we wouldn't be in trouble. But then he started saying things like, I've drank underage, I've smoked weed, I've lost people to drug overdoses, I've had sex, I've kissed someone, I've kissed more than one person. Don't ask your students that, maybe. I think is the best plan is you just don't ask students that. Like, that's just not something you ask children. Your teacher on the first week of school, literally. Or I guess like the later the weeks of school, not the first week of school. Yeah, jail. I remember we all looked at each other like, is he serious right now? That's weirdo behavior. It is weird. It is very weird. There's no reason a grown person should be asking kids that. I guess maybe a doctor can ask if you've had sex. Is the only context, or maybe your parent. That's the only context I can really envision it being, like, okay for an adult to ask a teenager that. What is this? Never have I ever. This isn't a sleepover. No, literally, he's giving sleepover energy. He told us that he did this to gather data and wanted to look at trends among his classes and to see if there was anything that changed or stayed the same. He's like, oh, it's just data. I'm just gathering data. I don't fucking know, but looking back, the questions were really weird. He told us that we didn't have to answer them if we didn't want to, but he had us stand on tape lines in the middle of the classroom floor with our peers. We felt kind of pressured. Like, he did it so publicly and made a friend of mine feel really uncomfortable standing on those tape lines. Yeah, this is very much weird. Like, maybe he needs therapy, I think. Remember that show on MTV where all they did was this? No. What is that show? I don't think I've ever seen that. Content warning mention of that. It doesn't, I'll warn you, like, it doesn't go in depth or describe anything. It's truly a mention of. I just wanted to give, like, that kind of context to the warning. What does that have to do with English? No, literally. English teachers sometimes be doing shit that I'm like, I don't see how this relates. It was called If You Really Knew Me. Oh, I think I do. That's ringing a bell now that I hear the title of it. Literally nothing. This man just loved a power play in the classroom. Yeah. That's how he introduced it to us. He was like, this is like Never Have I Ever, but not really, because I'm not answering them. Okay. That's not how Never Have I Ever works, but all right. So this teacher who always looked semi-hungover, this incident happened at my elementary school a solid 10 years ago, but anytime I tell someone what happened, they don't believe me. Oh, shit. I was the art teacher's daughter, so I have all the info about the case. This teacher was fired and arrested for his actions, but it's still so sad. This teacher started teaching music at my elementary school at the start of my 3rd grade year, and his and my dad's classrooms were right beside each other, lit in this dim hallway. From the moment I met him, he seemed unprofessional, just not like a teacher I'd had before. He would show up in the baggiest, grossest looking jeans, stained shirts, and always looked semi-hungover. By my 5th grade year, he was very popular among admin because he got along well with most of the kids and was a great musician. I never learned jack shit in his class, so I still don't understand how he managed to get good evaluations, but he was a specialist, so I guess they didn't care. He kept choir club going, and they loved that. Teachers that are power hungry are so creepy. Like, you work with literal children. What's wrong with you? Yeah, it is very much like, ooh. Kind of like how some people who join the military, you're like, you're too into this. Like, you're too into this, and it's weird that you're that into this. Okay. One day toward the end of my 5th grade year, a member of the choir borrowed his video camera because the teacher wanted to film a practice. When the practice was over, the kid was going through the videos and went too far back because he found some pornography of minors. The kid was the son of one of the support staff, so he obviously told his mom, and she reported it to admin. Admin took the camera to the police, and the police later found more content on his classroom computer. To my knowledge, he never denied having it and pled guilty to the charges. I haven't heard anything about him since, and I'm glad I haven't. The cherry on top is he was besties with a 4th grade teacher who duct taped a student to a chair, but that's another story that I would also like you to submit. I'm very concerned and curious. So yeah, my gut instincts were right about that sleazeball. And all I'm going to say is, if your gut is telling you something's off, you have to trust it. Always trust your gut. Always. Always remain on red alert and trust your gut. Okay, we have a few here, not that many, but a few people spilled some tea of just like random drama in their lives. So this one's just kind of like funny. So this could maybe apply to educational horror stories, but the end part of it, this happened a while ago while I was working at Target. So in 8th grade, my math teacher and English teacher rooms had a door connecting them. So they started having a prank war, being super flirty, etc. It was rumored they were dating, but he was married, so we hoped that that wasn't true. Fast forward like 6 years, I'm cashiering at Target, and they both come through my checkout lane with wedding rings, buying baby clothes. I said, "Oh my gosh, it's been so long. I didn't know y'all were married. I thought you were married to ex-wife's name." That's bold of you to be like, "I thought you were married to this other lady." I really respect you for that. And like, you're a fucking G for saying that in the Target checkout line. I'm going to catch up with the chat in a second. There's some really long messages. Where was I? I said, "Oh my gosh, it's been so long. I didn't know y'all were married. I thought you were still married to your ex-wife when I was in your class." The look on both their faces was priceless. BTW, they both still teach at the same school, and all the staff and admin know what happened, and so do most of the students due to older kids telling the younger ones. But that's fucking hilarious that they had an affair and got married, and you called them out for it at Target. The chat is heavy right now. This reminds me of 8th grade, a year of middle school, when 2 teachers at the school got arrested at the same time for harassing students. One dated a student, another was taking pics of girls. Crazy how common it is. Ugh. This is from telecommunications, but like they really left out some of this story. I'm very confused, and I think something really bad happened. So it was a Sunday. I remember this, and this guy was on the roof. What stood out about the guy is he was wearing black Adidas pants, slide with socks, and a red shirt. Alerted leadership because that's what we were told to do. Leadership brushed it off, saying the guy is an AC maintenance guy. I ask, what kind of AC maintenance guys wears track pants and works on a Sunday? Yeah, the slides are getting me. Like, the pants and the shirt, no, but no AC maintenance guy would be wearing slides on a roof. That's so fucking dangerous. I went to my desk, started working, and the blinds began to close around the office. A police officer was then called on site, but the guy locked the roof door from outside. Then I heard a crash outside. I decided then and there that I would quit, and I did. So, like, this is all they sent in. Did he die? Like, did he fall off the roof? Did he rob you? Like, you can't just submit something like that with no follow-up about it. Like, what happened? That's terrifying. I thought it was kind of cute, with no life-altering scandal. Yeah. But the high school teacher and the high school science teacher and the middle school English teacher at my brother's private school got married. They were both single when they started dating, but the student body were so excited when they get married. They had a little party one day after school so the kids could celebrate with them. That's so cute. That's so cute. Okay, this is about someone being a fucking insane person at Goodwill. This is my work story too. Gab Page, you're carrying stream tonight. I love telling this story because I think it truly captured how ridiculous people were during this pandemic and at the height of the mask mandates. So I worked at a Goodwill thrift store before and during the pandemic. I quit last fall to finish my degree, but worked there for a total of almost 3 years. This story takes place in December 2020 when the numbers were so bad and mask mandates were in place everywhere. One of the reasons I stayed as long as I did is my company was really good about enforcing the mask mandate and backing up employees when we stood our ground about the mask. So it was less than 2 weeks before Christmas. This is Christmas 2020, not Christmas 2021. There were a bunch of regulars in the store, but it was a bit quiet. I was in the back of the store restocking shelves while my coworker put away clothes and watched the registers up front. I turned and the woman next to me is completely barefaced, no mask in sight. It wasn't like she wore it to get in and then took it off once she got past us. She just straight up didn't wear it. I know she snuck past my coworker because this particular coworker was a former teacher and had no issues of telling people to leave for it, who had no issue telling people to leave for it, listening to our rules. This is a fucking tea right here. Get a former teacher in your workplace. If you need a rule enforcer, get a former teacher up in there. Because, oh, I'm sorry. Is that a problem? Did you have a question? No hesitation. I tell this woman she needs a mask, and she says it violates HIPAA to ask her to wear one. I tell her no, and she needs to wear one or get out. She says I'm violating HIPAA by asking. I just immediately got my manager, who also came out and told this woman she needs to put on a mask or leave. She gives the HIPAA excuse again. My manager tells her that she doesn't care what's in her medical records, that she just needs this lady to put on a mask while she's in the store. Again, this woman refuses, so my manager says, all right, you gotta leave then. I went and got my coworker who was up front and told her what was going on. She also came back to tell the woman to leave, which the woman was refusing, saying it was her right to shop there. Did I mention it was a thrift store? It's not like we're selling essentials. Karens when you ask them to wear a mask, literally. Like, not everything violates HIPAA. Like, just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean HIPAA is being violated. Those are not the same thing, ma'am. They're really just not. So the three of us are literally herding this woman toward the door while she's saying we're violating HIPAA and she's going to get the cops involved, blah, blah, blah. She insisted on paying for her stuff, and we were kind of worried about violence at this point, so we just let her stand in line at my register. But we told her we couldn't check her out because she couldn't be within 6 feet of an unmasked person, and the counter puts us too close to her. Malicious compliance is sweet, sweet retail revenge. She stood in other customers away staring daggers at my coworkers until she finally got fed up and left. We kept telling her it was for her safety and the safety of those around her and that we required masks, but she wouldn't hear it. The best part, the day after this, I started feeling sick and tested positive for COVID. 3 days after this, I quite literally proved the point of why we wear masks, yet it was in 1 year, out the other to those people. I like to say she gave me COVID because she was being so difficult. I hate working customer service. Prayers out to you if you're in the customer service world right now. I'm crying. What is a cop going to do about a HIPAA violation? HIPAA wouldn't even cover it. It just protects your medical privacy. Yeah, exactly. HIPAA's about, like, your medical information not being shared with anyone. That coworker was literally the best at conflict resolution. We're still friends to this day. You need a good coworker out here. I love when people pretend to know what HIPAA is. Yeah. HIPAA's just an easy, like, ooh, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I think HIPAA's being violated. But that's all I have for you tonight. I know we had quite the hodgepodge of things. Thank you for being here. Thank you for living. Thank you for laughing. And thank you for loving. I'm going to send these links in the chat really fast. Let me just get out of here. Exit. Thank you. Let me send these links in the chat. If anyone has other ones they want to submit. Education, horror stories, other tea. This can be family drama, work drama, whatever. Anything you want me to sit here and unpack. Let me put this guy back up. There you go. I'll hang out for a couple of seconds. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for being here, Scott. Thank you to everyone who subscribes. Thank you for using the... what are the things called? The emotes. Thank you for following. Thank you for joining. She waited for about 20 minutes. I didn't add this, but my coworker was going to call the cops for her trespassing on private property, but the Audi went outside into the cold to wait, so we just let her wait it out there without making the call. Thank you for the class, Mom. You're welcome. I would love to have you as a teacher. You explain stuff in such a straightforward way. Thank you. That's what I try and do. I hate when people are not straightforward with me because I get confused. So I just always say it normal. Also, I'm loving this shirt, you guys. I got this from Amazon. Let me see if you can see it. I got this top from Amazon. You can see it's like a workout top sports bra. So it's like a V-neck and it's like has the sports bra stuff in it. And then it's like the back goes like, you can You can kind of see how the back goes. No, you can't. That's how the back goes. You can't see how the back goes. It's like there's lines in the back. It's like goes down the middle. Can't wait for gay history on Thursday. When can we get Mr. Redacted to talk about economics to us? I don't know. I don't think ever. I don't think he wants to be on the internet. I can try and convince him, but I don't think it's gonna work. Thank you for teaching us. You're so good at what you do. Thank you, Spicy Mouth 5. Oh my god. I'm crying in the club right now. Thank you. I need to clean up from my dinner. He could just sit off camera and speak. Ooh. I'm going to propose that. That he will probably say yes to. Because his hesitation is like, he works in finance, so he can't be on the internet being like, oh, the government fucking sucks. All the finances are rigged. Like, he can't do that, obviously, because his boss would be like, hello? Like, if anyone find it, do an anonymous interview, blur his face. I could just make him wear a ski mask. That would work. That could definitely work. Change his voice like Dateline. Get him a voice modulator or whatever they're called. I don't think the voice would be that serious. Like, I don't think it's that deep. I think it's no face, no case. You know what I mean? But Evie, the fabulous individual who makes our slides sometimes, they are coming to visit me, and they will be on. We're gonna do a Pride stream that they're gonna kind of like do a lot of the research and make some of the slides for and stuff. Have him do a bad accent, though, for the gag, though. Change his voice like Dateline. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I wonder if I can do that. We can try and figure it out. But thank you for being here. So glad everyone was here. I love doing this. This is the biggest honor of my life. Whatever, all the things. Have a good night. I hope everyone's staying and laughing and loving and having a great night and making good decisions. And I'm excited. So again, last housekeeping things. I'm not streaming on Wednesday because of my adult job. We'll be streaming on Thursday about Stonewall. That's going to be our Thursday history stream. But have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Actually, if you have bed bugs, please get that taken care of. It can be very bad for you. Love you so much. Goodbye.